This is the Padres POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, San Diego and beyond, Friar fanatics, faithful fandom, whatever you call yourself. It's up to you. It's 2025. My name is Jim Greasehopper. Call me Grease, and this is your Padres POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, and today is the great. What a great day for the Padres, just the way they drew it up. And if only Jackson Merrill's ripped ball into the gap in the ninth inning would have fallen in, a couple more runs come in, little more of a breather, a couple more ribbies for Jackson. Top four hitters in the Padre lineup are the best in baseball, statistically, average-wise anyway, and they've been playing like it in this series. Manny Machado still on fire. Fernando drove in another one. Bryce Johnson could have had 2 RBIs today. They gave him 1, but he had 2 hits, multi-hit game for Bryce. Jake Cronenworth scores twice, but it's all about the pitching. Randy Vasquez, 4 2/3, and then the 4 Horsemen. The 4 Horsemen coming on in and closing the door from there. How about Morejon? How about Estrada? How about Adam? And how about Suarez? Yes, sir, Suarez with his MLB leading 30th save. The Padres win 3-1, snap the 4-game L streak. This is your Padres POSTCAST. I'm Jim Greasehopper. Call me Grease. We start right now on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Oh, baby, a win is a win is a win, and the L streak's over. 4 in a row, done, right? You start off taking 2 out of 3 in the nation's capital against the Nationals, and then you head to Miami, the city that keeps the roof blazing. You take 2 out of 3 from the Marlins, who, by the way, are 7-3 in their last 10. Yeah, 7-3, and 2 of those 3 came at the hands of the Padres. So you start the road trip 4-2. It's a 10-gamer. So now, if you're able to win this one tomorrow, because now on this trip, you're 5-4. You come out of the trip above 500. It's not a split on the trip. It's a split in the series. And all the difference in the world is made. This is your Padres POSTCAST. My friend, M. Jim Greasehopper. Call me Grease. No idea why the recap is still not written on either MLB or ESPN. Kind of weird. One of those things, the pictures were slow to come. You can find me in St. Louis. How about Jeremiah Estrada picking up the win today? How about Randy Vasquez straight dealing out there? Randy's been a godsend this year with how bad Dylan Cease has been, or I should say inconsistent, right? Because within the same start, he's striking dudes out left and right, and then giving up the big inning here, the big inning there. Michael King's been out for a long time now, not expected back until at the very least the beginning of the second week of August. Yu Darvish, 4th start back last time out, got ripped, right? So the starting pitching has been a real question mark for the Padres this year, in a year that their relievers have dominated, when their defense has been fantastic, when the top 4 hitters in their lineup have been better than anybody else in baseball. But beyond that's been an abyss in that season where they have looked to anybody, Kolick, Bergert, you name it, Heart Attack, all of them, to try to give you starting pitching. Randy Vasquez has been absolutely phenomenal. He doesn't seem like he's ever in the game long enough to get the win, but he really factored into it today, and a great job by Randy. And that's where we start with the pitching, right? I mean, it's going to be interesting to come to the turning point today, and we're working on that still. Our crack team of thousands is in the back going, hey, man, where was the turning point of this game? Maybe we get a little help from our friends, and that would be you. Come on in, by the way, to the comments. If you're live with us here on YouTube, you can leave comments on wherever you get your audio podcast to, where you should subscribe for us there as well. So wherever you are, subscribe. Wherever you are, hit the bell or the alert so you know when you're going to get more content coming your way from myself and from Javier with Locked On Padres podcast. By the way, chilling out in Diego right now, Javi is. And you know what, man? I'm excited for him right now with the deadline. This team's firmly in the wild card race. The Giants got smoked by the Mets last night. They're playing again right now. Dodgers lost to the Red Sox today, so the Padres gain a game. Ohtani was up. It's 4-2. The 4-2 score ended up being the final. Ohtani was up with 2 men on and 2 out, and I think the 4th inning, maybe the 5th, and he struck out. It was a great matchup, and so that was nice to see Ohtani go down in flames, up in flames, whatever it was. But the Dodgers lost, the Giants and the Mets right now. Mets might be the hottest team in baseball. Philly's starting to turn it on too, though, in the East. So one of those teams is literally going to be at the top of the wild card standings. Then you got the Cubs and the Brewers in the Central. And right now, don't forget, after tomorrow, you got the Mets coming to Petco and then the Cardinals coming right back. Those 6 games are going to have a huge impact on the wild card. And A.J. Preller, where are the reinforcements, bruh? We got 4 days till the deadline. Where are the reinforcements? What are we going to do? Is Ozuna coming in? You know what I mean? Is it going to be a guy like Jarren Duran? And by the way, the Red Sox have already turned the Padres down on that deal. Will Cease be gone? Will he cease to exist in San Diego? Look, he's not pitching well this year, and he's a free agent next year. And you ready for strike 3? 3 strikes, you're out. He's a Scott Boras client. If you haven't heard of Scott Boras, Boras, look him up and tell me you want to deal with him this offseason, coming off a year like this for Dylan Cease, when he's been 2nd in the Cy Young voting, when he's been 4th in the Cy Young voting, when he's going, hey, he strikes out 9-10 guys a game, but then he gives up a 5 spot or a 4 spot or whatever it is. Anyway, don't want to spend too much time on this. This is Javi's Wheelhouse. Check him out, Locked On Padres podcast, day in and day out. YouTube, Roku, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, you name it, Spotify. Both of us. The difference is I'm live right after the game's on YouTube. As soon as the live YouTube show's over, we upload to the audio formats and to Roku. You down with OPP? No, OTT. Yeah, you know me. It's Jimmy G on the MIC. I shouldn't wear the white shirt because it brings out the white in my beard. But with age comes experience and wisdom, and we have a lot of great wisdom, we think, to impart on you today with this game. But seriously, though, for the Padres, just a nice win after a couple of tough losses in this series. Should have won the opener, and I hate to go shoulda, woulda, coulda. Actually, I don't. I love it. I'm a sports guy my whole life, radio, TV, ESPN radio, UFC guy. I've always been a confrontationalist a little bit. Like, stir things up a little bit, get people thinking, but Vasquez got him thinking today. 4 2/3, he gave up one hit, and it was a double that was ripped to center field, and Jackson Merrill made an amazing catch later in the game, right? An amazing catch to rob Victor Scott. But on the ball that actually drove in the run for the Cardinals today, he just missed the ball, man. Walker's doubled to center, scoring Arenado, and he literally just went over his outstretched glove to have. He would have had 2 beautiful running grabs in center today. And then for good measures in the 9th, he rips one Oppo left center field gap, and he gets it run down. And that was crazy by Burleson, the center fielder, playing very shallow and over toward right. He ran a dang country mile to go and get that ball and rob Merrill. So the outfield plays didn't go Jackson's way necessarily today, but he did make a great catch. So I honestly believe that, game of inches, right? Merrill makes that one catch. It's a shutout. He doesn't get robbed in the 9th. He's got 2 RBIs himself. So you always look at the numbers when it comes to baseball, but you just can't only do that. We have a comment to get to. We have the turning point. We have the star of the game. Trade Cease for sure, says Mott the Padre. Nice win. Got to get the series split tomorrow, says Rick H. Thank you both. And by the way, if you're live on YouTube right now, come on in the chat. We'll do a little show within the show. I'm Jim Greashopper. Call me Grease. Not going to step aside, not going to go anywhere. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you something when we come back. I'm going to really, and I have a beautiful little kitten. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. She loves being in bags. Little Zaza, love her. If you were watching last week, you met her when she tipped over my whole setup, and I had to throw her out of the room. Anyway, Jim Greashopper, call me Grease. We got the turning point. We got the star of the game. We get you ready for tomorrow as well. But the Padres did what they needed to do to win this game. They should have won the opener. Could have won yesterday, not getting the big hits when they needed them. 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position again today. Now, the top of the lineup has been great. They've been great. They were 4 for 16 today, 6 for 16 yesterday. In the opener, they were 10 for 19. You're talking about 20 for 51 in the series. In the opener, they had a couple home runs, a ton of RBIs. The top of the order is hitting 280 for the Padres. That's number 1 in Major League Baseball, 1 through 4. And number 5, Xander Bogaerts just started to hit a little bit more now. But you throw an Ozuna in there, you throw a Jarren Duran in there, you throw Neal in there. I mean, you know what I mean? There's any number of players you could throw in those spots. But the top 4, statistically, average-wise, the best in baseball. Could you use a lot more power? Yes, you need a big power hitter in this lineup. That's what they're missing. They're missing a masher. They're missing that big gun in the middle. And by the way, yesterday they had 11 hits and got shut out. 11 hits and got shut out. Think about that, right? Last time that happened, 98. What'd they do in 98? Lost to the greatest team ever in the World Series, the Yankees. But they made it to the series in 98 just like they did in 84. And that's the goal this year. With the Dodgers being so thin in the rotation, and I know there's injuries there are, but the Padres, they need a starter. They do. And they need 2 players, everyday players in their lineup. I believe you can move Arias back to second, get a first baseman, power hitting first baseman in there. left fielder, right? Obviously, the Hayward thing didn't work out with Lockridge and everybody else they've tried out there. Sheets has been solid, but he's like a number 6 hole, 7 hole guy. If you can move Bogey to 6 and Sheets to 7, with probably Merrill hitting in the 5 spot, Manny at 3 with a big power hitter at 4, leave Fernando at leadoff, Arise in the 2 hole. Then you shore up the bottom of that lineup. So many guys out there that are better options than Cronenworth. So many, and he was a throw-in on the trade that brought him here anyway, and so many options that are better than just about anybody you've had down there. At this point, I'm willing to roll it out and go the distance, and I know they love the Braves guys and the Mets guys, catcher-wise, but I would love for this team to stick with Diaz and Maldonado behind the dish. I like that two-headed monster back there. They've held this pitching staff together. Think of what the bullpen's done all year. Not just the 4 horsemen, Estrada and Morejon and Adam and Suarez, right? Not just those guys. They were magnificent again today. Not just them, but Matsui, right? And Morgan's been great. And Hoying, when he was here, was phenomenal. You've had some really, and even Hart pitched well out of the bullpen. You've had a lot of guys coming in, and it's accentuated so much more in this current climate, 2025, when starters go maybe 6 innings max, hardly ever 7, 8, or complete games unheard of, right? So your middle relievers, that's the biggest change. It used to be like your setup guys and your relief guys, they got worked almost every night. And then the guys in the bullpen would never touch the ball. The long relievers, the middle guys and all that. Now those guys are almost as important a part of your team as the late relievers. I said almost. But they're getting a lot more touches, a lot more spins, a lot more opportunities out there. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. This is your Padres postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. O'Neill is a beast. He sure is, Mott the Padre. And I want to know from you who you want to see come in here by the deadline. And let Javi know in the mailbag as well. Javier Reyes, Locked On Padres podcast, day in, day out. Same as me. YouTube, Roku, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean. Difference is I'm live right after the games on YouTube. Then right after the YouTube show, I upload, you download, and that includes the Roku, right? With Javi, it's every day, and it's on all the platforms. But a sub for him is a sub for me. A like for him is a like for me, and all the above. So wherever you are, subscribe, hit the bell, hit us up with a little note, and, of course, you can come on live YouTube right after the games on the postcast. I'm Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease. I'm late for a break. I'm going to be late to my own funeral. What else is new? Turning Point coming up, Star of the Game coming up, and a look ahead till tomorrow. Padres Postcast, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. 3-1 Pods get the win. They're off the schneid. They break the 4-game losing streak. They go for the series split and the 6-4 road trip tomorrow. Good news is the NL West is hot potato right now. I don't want it. You take it. Everybody's losing. You know what I mean? And it's nice to lose when everybody loses. You want to win when they're losing, but it's nice that they're losing while you're losing, so you're not losing ground while you're losing games, right? You get it? Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Couple of deals, couple of steals, incredible companies we work with because of you. I'll explain more right now. It's the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Padres Postcast, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, 3-1 Pods in St. Louis. And I have but one question for you. What time is it? A qué hora? It's game time. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family? Of course you have, right? We all have. Maybe it's game day and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. That's exactly where Game Time comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks. Petco's got the best in the business. You get merch, even a bigger group to come with you. You know, spread the wealth. Buy another ticket for another family member who loves you, or a friend, or someone from the office, whatever. Day at the park, night at the park. You love it, and Game Time makes that possible, right? Makes it fast and simple buying tickets. Game Time's prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch. And they have incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. Game Time is also the official ticketing partner of the Locked On Podcast Network, Locked On MLB. To be specific, it makes it easy to browse the app for an exciting upcoming MLB game like, I don't know, the Mets and the Cardinals coming up at Petco. Are you kidding me? 6 games against those teams coming up right now. Tired of endless scrolling, trying to find the best deals, zone deals with Game Time. Get the best seat selections for you easily, and you can look at it right in the app with the panoramic seating in the app before you buy it. You can see what your view is going to look like. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONMLB, Locked On MLB, for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. That's Game Time on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. And I got to get dressed for this one, guys. I got to throw on the goodies. Look at that. Look like I'm hitting the course right now. Who wants to play Pebble with me? Let's go. Look at this. I'm looking fly. You look at it. It even matches the watch. Come on. The top with it. And this is just beautiful. And why am I rocking all this beautiful stuff? Unbelievable. That's why. Because Game Day Hugh loves you. And they love me. And they love the Locked On Podcast Network. And they love to make you look fly, to make you look your best. You can't see me, but you want everybody to see you because it's amazing. With Game Day Hue, and think about Hue, H-U-E, the color, right? Today's episode is brought to you by Game Day Hue, and so is the hat I'm wearing. You know what I'm saying? Padres guys like me, this one hits the mark. Game Day Hue makes clean, no logo gear with team-inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. It's all about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile style that works on game day, on the course, and anywhere in between. I love rocking it on the course. I love rocking it with my usual gear. Look at the white shirt, this and this. It's all for you. It's all for you. It doesn't replace my team's logo stuff. It just adds to the lineup. I wear it everywhere I go, and why not? I love wearing it on the show, for the commercial, all these things. And you know what? If you don't want to be a walking logo, you love this, right? And it isn't just the hats. Split shade gloves. Look at that. Made for the golf course, or the perfect gift for the fan who has everything. I can wipe the sweat from my brow. It's beautiful. And right now you can get 15% off with code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDay, H-U-E.com. GameDayHue.com. The code even stacks on bundle deals. So now's the time to load up. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. GameDayHue.com. Code MLB15 for Game Day Hue on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Spaghetti O'Neal Cruz. No, here we go. Here come. No, I mean, I said it'd be really nice to get him. Wouldn't it be dope? I mean, who would you want for a left fielder? I'm just thinking of left fielders. I'm thinking of what they could do with first base. Move Arias back to second. Get Cronenworth out of here. All due respect to Jake. He scored 2 runs today. 1 for 3 game for him. Bryce Johnson really had a couple RBIs, credited for 1. 1 scored on an error. 1 was a safety squeeze, but he had 2 hits. Manny had 2 more hits. Now, Manny, why are you bugging? Manny, 7 for 12 in the series so far. Got hit by 2 pitches today. This dude's been on base 9 times in 3 games in this series. They hit him twice because Contreras has been getting hit throughout the series. He didn't get a hit today. They kept him off the bases and out of the stat columns. But Manny wasn't happy about it. Bench is cleared for a moment or two, but Manny's in fuego right now. Can you imagine what Manny could do if you put a real bat behind him in this lineup? No disrespect to Jackson Merrill. Not getting the job done right now behind Manny, and he's seeing the best pitches he's going to see to hit. So you need that big guy in the lineup between Manny and Merrill. The big guy between Manny and Merrill to put in that 4-hole, the home run hitter. They need a home run hitter. They do not have a home run hitter. Fernando hits home runs. Manny hits home runs. They do not have a home run hitter. Think about it. Yes, Bogey's wildly underperformed. You can't expect Gavin Sheets to keep it up at this pace. If he does, it's an unexpected win in a huge way. But you cannot let this season in which, with the injury to King, you cannot let this season in which the injury to Darvish kept him out for that long. You cannot waste a season in which Dylan Cease has been so wildly inconsistent. You cannot waste a season in which Fernando hit nothing in May and June, and you're still, if the Giants lose tonight, 2 games up in the wild card. Think about that. Think about that, Padre fan, and what this team has done. I'm not here to break all that down for you. That's the day in, day out on the Locked On Padres podcast with my guy Javier Reyes. Day in and day out, YouTube, Roku, you know what I'm saying? Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean. Yeah, same places as me. We share the channels, very different shows. I do the postcast right after the game, breaking down that individual game, each one right after the game, live on YouTube. Then we upload, you download Roku plus all the audibles. You know what I'm saying? Audio versions. And Javi's day in, day out. He's got a lot of great guests. They do crossovers. He comes on my show. I go on his. But you're locked and loaded and locked on with the Padres regardless. That's going to do it for me, Padre fan. I wish I could go forever. I got to keep it to 20 minutes, and we're right there right now. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Got a couple of things to do very quickly before we get out of here. Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day in this 3-1 win over the Cardinals.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Very difficult to pick a turning point in this game, but I would say this, right? And I would say it's very, very important when you're looking at the outcome of this game to look at the job that Randy Vasquez did on the mound for the Padres to go 4 2/3 innings and only give up 1 hit and gave up that 1 run. But a tremendous job by the Padres today with the little things. The safety squeeze by Bryce Johnson was a big, big play in this game because obviously you got the run home. It's a safety squeeze. You're expecting to give yourself up at first. They go home, don't get the out. And in a game where Merrill was robbed in the 9th of a big 2-run hit and Fernando robbed on a beautiful leaping grab by the second baseman. But, you know, when you take the lead early on the RBI single by Bryce Johnson, Cronenworth scores on the fielding error by Victor Scott. That was a rough one. But I would say, you know, you're looking at the one where they took the lead, the sacrifice bunt from Johnson, and Cronenworth scores. He's going right away on the pitch, and you get the ball down. You're supposed to give yourself up at first, but he didn't give himself up at first. They threw it home, didn't get him. Beautiful job by Johnson, gave you the 2-1 lead. And then in the top of the 9th, Fernando grounds out to shortstop. Johnson scores. But think about that ball Merrill hit tailing in the gap. Would have driven in 2 more. Nonetheless, it's a 3-1 win, and you snapped the losing streak. Real quick before we get out of here, one more thing.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And where is he? That's an old picture, but what a night for him. Bryce Johnson, 2 for 3, should be 2 RBIs. He had an RBI single and an RBI on a sacrifice bunt, suicide squeeze. You could say the run scored on an error on the center fielder, but, man, Cronenworth wasn't even at third yet when he committed the error. And then on the bunt, whatever, it is what it is. But real quick, want to talk about Vasquez and how awesome he was tonight. Randy goes 4 2/3, gives up only 1 hit. It's an RBI double, 1 run on the night. And then these dudes just took over, man. I have to just incredible job by Morejon. Incredible job by the bullpen all the way across the board. So here comes... that is Estrada, who picked up the win to go to 4-4. Hold number 25 for Jason Adam, and there's Robert Suarez. I think I showed you Estrada twice, but I just wanted to show you the 4 horsemen. Suarez, MLB leading 30th save, 4 innings plus 4 1/3, 1 hit, bunch of strikeouts, no runs. Vasquez only gave up the 1. Great defense played today by the Pods. Jackson Merrill almost got the one that drove in the only run of the day. Had a great running grab. Tremendous job. They get a chance to try to split the series tomorrow. And then, of course, you have the Mets and the Cardinals coming in back-to-back. And I got to get out of here. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. You got Kolek tomorrow. He's 3-5 against McGreevy, 2-1. With a 3.49. Kolek is a 4.28 ERA. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Real quick into the comments before we go. When we play small ball, we win. It's proven what's wrong with Schilt. That's his chance. You got it. And would be nice but we aren't getting rid of Crony. Yeah, it'd be really nice to get rid of him. I'm not going to lie. Arias goes back to second. They bring in a big first baseman. That would be a dream come true, but I don't think that's going to happen. Either way, they won today, 3-1. They're still right there, that 3rd spot in the wild card. You'd like to see him rise a little bit longer, a little bit higher, especially with the Dodgers struggling the way they have. But that's going to do it for me. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. We're at the 23-minute mark. We're trying to get a little bit better, trying to get it down to 20 every day. Again, live on YouTube right after the games, and after that, we upload, you download. Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, and, of course, Roku. You down with OTT? Yeah, you know me, this whole party. And thank you for making us your first watch or listen every day. Padres Postcast. We also have the podcast for your day-to-day news, notes, everything in between. And if that's not enough for you, you love it nationwide. How about every game, every night, all season long? Local analysis on a national scale with Locked On MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thank you so much for being here. I can't tell you enough how grateful I am that I get an audience like you to share our thoughts on the Padres every single day. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. 3-1 Padres win. This has been your Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. 11:15 Pacific, first pitch tomorrow. Kolek and McGreevy. After that, the postcast. Till then, keep your game tight and your mind right. Padres fans, I'm out.